So welcome back to a brand new video. Hope everyone is having a great day, a great week. So today, as the title says, I will be ranking all the Texas Chainsaw Massacre films. If you've been on my channel for a while, surprisingly, I have not ranked these here on the channel. So this will be my first time ranking the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. If you've been on my channel for a while, you will know that I'm not the biggest fan of this franchise. Like I said, if you've been on my channel for a while, you should know that I am not the biggest fan of this franchise. So enough said. If you enjoyed the video, do hit that like button, and let's get right into the video. So coming at number 8, really no surprise here, the bottom of the barrel, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation. What is there good to say about this movie other than it's just a complete joke and a complete waste of your time? This may actually surprise people, but I think Seed of Chucky is way better than whatever this is, because The Next Generation takes Leatherface and really makes him a joke. Leatherface is supposed to be a character that gets under your skin. He's supposed to be realistic. He's supposed to be intimidating. This is none of that. He's a complete joke, and in my opinion, a complete spit in your face to the original. That's my opinion, and I've said with that. Number 7 and 6 was neck to neck, but number 7, I'm going to have to go with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2013. This did the Halloween 2018 before the Halloween 2018 even existed. So number 7 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. I'm here to say this, and I'm not afraid to say it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D is bad, but you could still watch it and sit down and I think have a decent time. But the problems with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, and really what holds this movie back, is the woman in this. The whole story involving her makes no sense. This movie should have taken place in the 90s. Why wasn't it taking place in the 90s? I don't know. Either they didn't care or they just didn't read the script. I'm not sure. Also, this movie being in 3D didn't make much sense considering the whole horror slashers being in 3D. Kind of that trend kind of died out around 2012. This came out in 2013. So I'm actually surprised in general the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D is even in 3D. Is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D the worst in the franchise? In my opinion, no. It just has some story problems, and one of the biggest problems, trying to make Leatherface a hero, a anti-hero, whatever you feel like calling him. They took that intimidation factor away, in my opinion. Number 6. Now we're at top 6. Number 6 is Leatherface 2017. It's alright. Like, that's really the only thing that I can actually say about this movie, that it's alright. Problems with Leatherface 2017. Who they choose to be Leatherface, I don't think it's the right decision, because it doesn't make too much sense. I don't mind Leatherface 2017. I hear a lot of people gripe about this movie and hate on this movie. I'm not a defender of this movie, but I can at least watch it sometimes, because I don't, Leatherface 2017 is just one of those movies that doesn't have too much rewatchability because of what it plays off of. It's all whodunit, which again, it works and it doesn't work. If that makes any sense at all. I feel like they just did the whole whodunit because they feel like they was out of ideals, which they kind of are at this point, but because they really don't want to try to do anything different, But again, I will give credit to Leatherface 2017 for trying to do something different. Again, they didn't really succeed at it. So yeah, number 5. Now we're at top 5. I say top 5 I enjoy, but I say top 3 I enjoy way more. But number 5 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, which is also called Texas Chainsaw Massacre Leatherface, which is also called Leatherface. It's a whole thing, right? But anyway, number 5 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. A lot of people hate on this movie. I don't hate on it. It's decent. I will say it's a decent slasher. It's decent. It's whatever. Um, that's really all I can say. It's just a decent slasher. It's just a decent Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. It's really forgettable. And I can agree with people in that it is forgettable. Really, the only memorable character, or really the only memorable thing about this movie, is the guy that from Rob Zombie's Halloween, Joe Grizzly. I forgot the actor's name, but I really enjoyed him in this movie. I thought he was really entertaining in this movie, and to just see a familiar face in this movie. Leatherface, he was all right. One of the things that bothered me, I did like the, Leatherface kind of had some battle damage to him. He kind of, had like this leg brace. Even though I like that, it kind of bothered me. He barely ran. He was like almost limping throughout the whole movie. I found it kind of like, oh, I could kind of get away from him pretty easily if he's not even running or even try to catch up. That's one of the things. And I can appreciate Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 because this director was trying to really go back to the roots and the home of the original and try to, capture that again. But the ratings board came in and the studio came in, and the rest is history when it comes to that. Now we're at top 4. Number 4 has to go to Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I'm not the biggest fan of this movie. I prefer Leatherface more dark, realistic, gritty, and more grounded. But I can just have a blast and sit down with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I don't think it's the best in the franchise. I don't think it's the worst. It's in the middle. It's decent. It's alright. Number 4, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I know there's some really huge fans of this movie. Really, the highlight of this movie would have to be Chop Top for me. But other than that, it's just decent. It's whatever. Number 3 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1, the original, the OG. I said it here. I'm not the hugest fan of this movie. But I love this movie. There's some really cool moments in it. And it's iconic. And you have to just appreciate this movie just for being iconic. And I think memorable. Because there are some very, iconic and memorable scenes in this movie. Number 2 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Beginning. And some people may put this at their number 3 or number 4. I actually like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Beginning. I like the look of Leatherface. I think one of the best looks of Leatherface in this whole franchise. The only thing I will say, even though I do like the prequel angle, I do like, what they was going for with it. And I do like that this new team, came in and really tried to, capture the feel of the 2003 remake. I do appreciate that. The only problem with The Beginning, I'm glad they took the, prequel approach. It worked for the most part, but I really kind of just wish they made their own movie, if that makes any sense. Because every single thing is explained to you, which I don't mind that. I don't, trust me, I don't mind that at all in this movie. But it's just so focused on, oh, this is how this, this is how, the officer, I say that in quotes if, for some reason you haven't seen it, is missing his teeth. This is how this happened. This is how that happened. At times it does seem forced. At times it does seem forced. But you can really overlook that and just have a blast with Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning. I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning just for how fun and entertaining it is, in my opinion. And number 1, no surprise, is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003. Can this horror remake, this Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, get some more credit and love? It's one of the best horror remakes. It's one of the best horror remakes, one of the best slasher remakes, in my opinion. Leatherface is at his scariest in this. He's intimidating. It plays off a huge realistic factor, in my opinion. It's perfect. It's just a perfect movie. And this may be controversial, but I'm going to say it. I think the 2003 remake is way better than the original. I say that because it encapsulates, it takes everything we love about the original, but just cranks it up, in my opinion, and just modernizes it with a new story. And it does something with a remake that I think all remakes should follow and do, and that is tell a new story. And that's what it does. It's a completely new story and fresh take. And in my opinion, they should have stopped here, you know, or did the beginning and then stopped there. They should have stopped after the beginning, in my opinion. They should have made this one the beginning and then stopped. Because I think the 2003 is one of the best in the franchise, and it's one of the best horror remakes of all time. It's simple, it's effective, and again, it does leave a lot, you know, to the imagination. There's not a lot of gore in this, and it leaves a lot to the imagination, which is kind of like how the original did, you know, which I don't think a lot of people credit that or recognize that. You know, it kind of does thing, you know, that the original did, and that is keep a lot in your head of like, oh, how did, you know, he die and all that. So it leaves a lot up to the imagination, and that's how a lot of the 70s and early 80s horror movies did. So again, I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003, one of the best in the franchise, and in my personal opinion, one of the best horror remakes. If you enjoyed the video, do make sure you hit that like button. Please subscribe if you're brand new around here. And do hit that notification bell to never miss a single upload. If you do smash that like button, it does help out the channel. And let me know your ranking of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre below. I'm very curious to know what is your favorite in the franchise. Obviously, like I said, my top 3 is the original, the beginning, and my number 1, obviously, the remake. I love the remake, and my most watched out of this whole franchise. So again, let me know your ranking in the comments below, and let me know why your can't talk. Let me know why a certain one is your favorite. So yeah, let me know all that in the comments below, and I will catch you guys in the next video.